All right, Oval fans. I know this review is like a day late, but overall, this was still a pretty good episode. Now, do I think it was as good as last week's? No, the premiere was a 10 out of 10 for a reason. This week, a 7 out of 10, but it wasn't bad. I think 7 is like a fair score. But yeah, let me just put it this way. This episode, hell of a lot better than Sisters this week. Let me tell you that. But yeah, again, season 5, episode 2, Black Stallion. This episode yet again reinforces the fact that as much as I love certain actors, like I love Sierra, who plays Lily, I love Taja, who plays Priscilla, but this episode had moments where things that annoy me reared their ugly head. I don't think Lily needs to be alive. I know that sounds bad. I think it would have been great if she would have like disappeared in the night and went to, what was it, Connecticut or whatever, with that one guy that she said she, would vacation with and whatnot, and not even Donald knew about it. I think that would have been a great way to write off her character, because you could argue even before the whole being waterboarded and crap by Kyle in the attic at Donald's house, Lily became dead weight and annoying, and her only purpose is to make Bobby do stupid shit. And then even though I'm jumping too far ahead, I really did not care for Priscilla mentioning that she still wanted a divorce. That felt completely out of place and completely unnecessary. You say how I don't care about the danger, I'm going to the hospital to look after my husband. If I were Sam, and hell, I'd love for my wife to be there, that was sweet, but at the same time, you're putting your own safety at risk for the greater good of this plan to take down the administration. You need to be at Richard's house or the VP's house or whoever to be safe. So for you to come out from the goodness of your heart despite the danger, but then tell me you still want a divorce, I'd be like, look, just go. I don't want you here. Look, I was happy to see you, but you just killed the moment. All right, let me jump into it. So we pick up where we left off with Richard being interrogated by the 2 guards over Jason, and they check to see if he's legit. They have their guns ready to go. Like when Richard's like, is that who I think it is? Who do you think it is? The first son, the president and the first lady's son. He's supposed to, he's dead, right? Yeah, he was supposed to be dead. I mean, that's what the news report said, but he's sitting right there. Oh, wait. So they check his ID and whatnot, and they basically, restrain him to a chair until, things check out with Sam. It's like, how do we know he really gave you this text message and this address? So one guy goes to check out, make sure, that Richard is legit. So we go over to my bae, Simone. I love you, Simone and Eli. And Simone wants the kids to be sent to her mother's house, I think, because until things blow over, they need to make sure their kids are safe. And Eli's like, okay, that's a good idea. I think you should go too. But my baby, Simone, is a ride or die. I'm not leaving you. I'm staying by your side while we go through this together. And Eli's like, all right. So he gets a call from Priscilla, and she mentions how Donald, the chief of staff, sent somebody to kill Alan and basically kill us together. And hey, there's a hit on us, so I gotta lay low. But from there, Eli will send Max and Bobby to come get, Priscilla, because they need to be, safe and secure for the time being. No word from Richard right now, and of course she's worried about Sam, and she wants to be with him, but he's like, look, do you think that's a good idea, especially with somebody literally just trying to kill you? And Priscilla's like, no, I want to be there, but fine, I know I'll stay put for now. So, Eli gets off the phone, tells Simone about Sam being shot and Priscilla having a hit on her. So they're really concerned. Well, she's really concerned, but Eli's like, yeah, but it's going to work. It's just, there's a lot going on right now. So we go over to Alan and Priscilla, because Alan, walks up on Priscilla as soon as she gets off the phone. He's still in his feelings. He's got an attitude about it. I'm like, look, what are we doing just sitting here? And she's like, look, we need to wait to figure things out. We can't make a move right now. So, he's skeptical about the vice president. Wait, that was the vice president, and you think he can keep us safe? Wow, okay, him, and now we're at the butler's house. So what's going on? So He, apparently still has a cell phone on him, and Priscilla chews him out for that because they can track us, you moron. So he's like, look, you're not helping right now. Go in there and sit down. Okay, fine. So Alan goes into the living room. Nancy introduces him to Kareem, Sharon, and Dale. So they pretty much all sit down and trade stories of how they got mixed up into this. Dale with the chief of staff, I met him because he got mad at me for, getting close to somebody he knows. And of course, Kareem and Sharon are, dealing with the president. And then, Alan mentions how, my boss, the chief of staff, tried to get somebody to kill me. And from there, they pretty much, tell him how this is the butler's house. Wait. So we're depending on the butler to keep us safe. And then Kareem's like, see, that's the same shit I said. So they pretty much kind of form a quick bond right on the spot. And then, Alan is like, you know what? This is way too much for me. I need to get up out of here, because he does find out from them that the president was just here. He just walked in like he owned the place. And then Kareem's like, wait, Alan, right? Yeah. Yo, let me come with you, man. I can't just sit here. So Sharon gets everybody to sit the hell down and wait. And I do love how she kind of took charge in that moment. That was kind of hot. But we go over to Donald, who's all patched up by the doctor. He ignores the suggestion to go to the hospital to avoid infection. Hey, that's why I got you here, doc, to make sure I don't get infected, right? Yes, sir. But hey, these pain pills, they are highly addictive. So when he tries to take the bottle from Donald's like, no. So the doctors leave, and he gets up and starts taunting Lily about the Bobby stuff. And, I think he starts to torture her to get the phone number for Bobby to call. So he starts poking her damn bullet wound, and this sadistic bastard licks the blood off his finger. I'm no expert, but I don't think that's a good thing for you to do. Feel like you can catch something by doing that. All right, so we go over to Alonzo and Hunter. Alonzo, he just wants to go home. He's like, sir, we need to get to the White House. I don't like this area. So we see a bunch of prostitutes walking around. It's a bad neighborhood. So, there's a lot of back and forth about who's more dangerous, pimps or the president. He finds a prostitute he likes, calls her over to the car. She immediately recognizes him, like, you look like the president. I'm his body double. He, shows the money. She gets in the back of the car. So does he. And Alonzo's like, sir, don't get out of the car. But he gets in there. And then, tells Alonzo to drive off. Now, Nancy tells Priscilla to stay because Priscilla is, getting wound up. It's like, look, I gotta see Sam. And I can't say it was just the women making dumb mistakes. I think that was kind of a theme in a lot of the later season 3 episodes where the women just keep doing dumb shit. But it felt like everybody was doing stupid shit this episode. So Priscilla, instead of staying at the house, and yes, it makes sense for her to feel this way because the man she's been treating like trash for the past 2 full seasons is in the hospital. So all of a sudden she feels like, I have to be there with him. So she leaves to go to the hospital. Nancy calls Richard and it goes to voicemail. Then you have Kareem and Alan who are just fed up with this because, wait, where did Priscilla go? She went to the hospital. You know what? I can't stay here. I'm about to bounce. And then Kareem leaves too. And Dale's like, look, as somebody who just got shot by these people, I think you should stay. But then Dale, being a follower, decides to leave too. And then Sharon calls him out for it. You just stood here and said you shouldn't leave. Well, yeah, I'm just going to go. So now the house is just reduced to Nancy, Sharon, and it is mentioned later in the episode that Barry's upstairs sleeping. So that just means that it's Barry working on the game stuff. All right, so everybody leaves the house and Sharon goes out there to chase after him. Nancy, being level-headed, says, you know what, Sharon, there's nothing we can do. If they don't want to stay, they don't want to stay. But, Sharon goes out trying to, scream after Kareem. Miss Jody is out there the whole time. I'm thinking like, you telling the president and whatnot, this is a bad neighborhood, people don't give a fuck, but you just standing out there. I'm like, I'm surprised you ain't been shot yet. But Miss Jody's probably loved by the neighborhood, nosy as hell, but she's just, an old woman with an attitude. Well, you can't do nothing about it. So she tries to get to the bottom of this, like, what's all this noise going on for? I can't even get no sleep. What's going on? Hey, Nancy, I know you hear me. Look, we ain't got time for this now, Miss Jody. Fine, y'all need to sleep. Y'all need to quiet down all this damn noise. So she hobbles on inside of her house. All right, so we go over to the hospital, and Priscilla sees Sam, and she says that, I never stopped loving you, but they talk about, okay, so what's the plan? What's going on? The vice president and whatnot. Look, we got a package we're keeping safe, and everything is, everything is working out. We just need some more time and the right people in the right places. But Priscilla is worried because Sam, there's nobody here to watch him. And the reason that Sam is in so much pain is because he didn't want any strong pain meds. Cause I do think he mentioned, like, I came out of surgery, they removed the bullet, but I can't afford to not be alert with everything going on. So yeah, he does need medication, but it makes sense. Nobody's there to watch him, and he needs to, you know, be at the top of his alert game in order to protect himself. But Priscilla refuses to leave and go to the vice president's place for her own safety because she wants to be there for her man. And this is where the episode kind of loses me because of the fact that she does mention, like, you know, hey, you got shot, but you know, this is good, you know, because you did this. I'm thinking, I don't think Sam getting shot has anything to do with him sleeping with Victoria. There's no connection between those events at all. Not to mention, she goes on to say, well, my job is to help you get back on your feet. And once you do, I still want a divorce. No. This was dumb. And as soon as she said that, her mood completely changed. She's serious, like, I'm going to go check on the doctor. And Sam was like, you know, look, can I get a little grace? Grace? That's what you want? At that point, I would have been like, nurse, I want to be alone. Get her out of here. Seriously, this messed up the entire flow of an otherwise great scene. It really did. I did not care for this Priscilla moment. All right, so Jason wakes up at the cabin he's in, and he's freaking out because he sees Richard. Like, Richard, what's going on? It's like, what am I doing here? I don't remember what happened. You don't remember jumping from the White House? Well, I do remember being in the hospital, but how did I get here? But one of the guards comes up and tells him, look, we're here to protect you. We're here to keep you alive. What are you talking about? Because we need you. For what? To take down your parents. Oh, take down my parents. Oh, shit. Why didn't you open with that line? Okay, I'm in. So he does ask about, wait, so I'm here, but are you in pain? Yeah. So they give him like a little boost of a painkiller or something that kind of puts Jason back to sleep. But Richard gets, you know, untied or unhandcuffed from the chair because it turns out his story checks out. They were able to confirm Sam did send him, as, you know, he is a butler at the White House, but he's on their side. And Richard's like, wait, because they actually, like, since we know who you are now, we can trust you, we'll answer any and all of your questions. But from there, he does ask, wait, but if he quote unquote died, so how'd you get the body out of the hospital? Oh yeah, we switched him out with a patient that had terminal cancer. So yeah, in order to, you know, fool the doctors and everyone, Jason was taken out of the hospital and he was swapped with another patient who was dying of cancer. So to the world, Jason is dead, aside from everyone who knows about the package. So they tell him to go meet with the vice president, and Richard gets the hell out of there. So Max arrives at the holding cell with Bobby and Kyle, and Max wants him dead on the spot. It's the same old story this scene. Max wanting Kyle dead and Bobby losing his head over Lily. It's stupid. You got Max, who's usually keeping Bobby calm from doing something stupid due to Lily. And then you have Bobby trying to keep Max calm from doing something stupid to Kyle. And this scene just reinforced how dumb these characters are written to be. So Kyle isn't talking, and I think Bobby had a hammer in his hand, like he's John Henry. He's like, look, we ain't got to kill him because we need him, you know, for evidence and witnesses, but we can still get him to talk. So from there, Max lets it slip about how Lily has left, and Bobby calls him out for not telling him. And look, I don't know. All I know is that she left, but I don't know if, like, you know, Donald has her or anything. So Bobby calls Lily, and then Donald picks up the phone, and, you know, he keeps taunting him about, hey, I got her, come and get her. And then again, he pokes her wound and makes her scream, Lily, Lily! So Bobby rushes off, and then Kyle is actually not being an asshole for once, says, Max, you better go after him because you know they're going to kill him, right? And then Max kicks this fool Kyle into the cell bars and knocks him out. Shut the fuck up! And then he takes handcuffs and restrains him, and he leaves. And I'm thinking, somebody going to come in here and get this fool out. This is stupid. Because, for one, Max should have stayed his ass at the hospital. to make sure Sam had somebody watching his door. Because Richard, Sam told him to go, and now Sam is left unguarded, and then Priscilla left her post. Yeah, that's the problem with this episode. Everybody was leaving their post when they shouldn't have. Max leaving last week to go, get revenge on Kyle. Sam telling Richard to leave, which wasn't his fault. It was just that, now he was unprotected. And because of that, Priscilla left, but hell, I feel like even if Max was there, Priscilla still would have left to go to the hospital. Then you had, Kareem, Dale, Alan all leaving Richard's house, and then Max and of course Bobby both leaving Kyle by himself. So I felt like this was one of those episodes where people had to do stupid stuff so some of the players who were off the board can get back into the game. So somehow, some way, I think Kyle is, well, based on the preview for next week, we know Kyle's going to get out. So there you go. All right. So we go over to Richard and Nancy's house. Richard arrives home and he fills, Nancy in on like, okay, so, Nancy fills him in on the fact that everybody's left. Barry's upstairs asleep. Sharon's still here. Priscilla went to the hospital. Kareem, Alan, Dale, they just all left. Man, what? They should have stayed here. I need to put a stop to this shit. The president's just rolling up in here. Well, baby, what do you plan to do? And also, yeah, even though I didn't mention this, it was mentioned in passing. Alan was shocked about the president just showing up at, their house like that because he usually travels with a motorcade. So why did he just show up unannounced without drawing any attention? So we get to the final scene at a hotel room. Hunter, the prostitute, and Alonzo at the door, who's looking really nervous. She's like, why is he looking like that? Oh no, he's just, making sure nobody interrupts us. So, you know what? With the skills you have, there are women I helped out with far less talent than you. I can get you an apartment. I can get you a business. I can get you some money. I can get you out of this life. And, just give me your phone number. I can make it happen. But the thing is, the prostitute isn't getting undressed. It's like, take off your clothes. No, you take off your clothes. And in this middle of the back and forth, Alonzo sniffs out that she's an informant. And when she is exposed, not physically, just the fact that she's an informant, and Alonzo's like, we gotta get the hell out of here. Two cops pull up with their guns, pointing at them. And that's the end of the episode. So yeah, this episode was good. But the thing that kind of brought it down were the characters who were just acting dumb by putting themselves in danger by leaving their post. Now, with that being said, 7 out of 10 is still a fair score. This episode was definitely more enjoyable than Sisters and House of Pain and Assisted Living, but let me know your 2 cents in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one.